At the weekend, the Minister of International Relations and Cooperation, Maite Nkoana-Mashabane, hosted the second annual Ubuntu Awards in Cape Town. The event recognizes South Africans whose actions promote South Africa's national interests and values across the world. 5 categories are recognized, and the winner in the youth diplomacy category is a great friend of mine and a wonderful woman, Constantinides. Congratulations, Catherine.
Thank you.
I am so happy that you won this award. You know, you really do. You dedicate your work to uplifting the youth around you, to uplifting this country and this world that we live in. So well done.
Thank you so much. It really was such an honor to receive such an award.
Yeah, I mean, this is big. I mean, we're talking big now. We're reaching levels of getting achievements that not many people get to. What does it mean for you? I mean, to be rewarded and recognized for the work that you do?
I think to be recognized for the kind of work I do, which is not something that's really popular, it's not always on the agenda, climate change, environmental work, and my work as a humanitarian in refugee camps in North Africa, these are not things that are popular. So to be recognized for the journey of the Miss Earth South Africa program, Generation Earth, this kind of recognition to those programs makes a lifelong dedication really, really quite something.
Yeah. Let's delve a little bit deeper as to what you actually do.
So the Miss Earth South Africa program seeks to empower South African women to be more actively involved in climate change, food security, waste minimization, and looking at how do we create greener, more sustainable cities. It's important that we make sure women are really key and at the focus area when we're looking at climate change. And South Africa has seen climate change become more and more pronounced. We see extensive droughts, and we need to make sure that we understand what climate change is, and it is something that is affecting us. It's not something that affects other people, other countries somewhere else. It's something that we can see changing every single day. So this program has really grown extensively. The work that is done is really at a grassroots level across communities across the country. Yeah. And now we also do the Miss Earth in Namibia, Zambia and Cote d'Ivoire as well.
That's fantastic. So it's actually moved to those other African countries. Well done to you. But I mean, your work doesn't just end on the Miss Earth pageant and the incredible representation of what Miss Earth stands for. But you've also been working in the Western Sahara. I mean, talk to me about this work. How did that all come about?
So I think that as a young South African, I was really ashamed that I did not know that there is a country in North Africa called the Western Sahara. And what we don't know is that this is a country that has been illegally occupied by Morocco for 40 years. And the last 40 years have seen people being oppressed, their human rights. The human rights atrocities happening in the occupied territory is absolutely unbelievable. I went and stayed with the Sahrawi people in the refugee camps, which are on the inside of Algeria, and these people have no access to water, no electricity, and their food is dropped by air. They get 7 ingredients once a month, and that's all they have. They have less than nothing, yet hope lives in those very camps. Yeah. It is unbelievable to see how those people stay within those camps fighting. They get up every day fighting to make sure that they will see a referendum held for the Sahrawi people, for the people of the Western Sahara, in order for them to have self-determination and for them to be able to go back home.
How did you come across this community?
It's actually really strange. This was most certainly a story that found me. I was invited to speak at a conference in Morocco, and the conference was being held in the occupied territories. So it was not in fact in Morocco, it was in the Western Sahara. Yeah. And when I started doing research and information, I started discovering that there was actually a bigger story here. So when I decided I would go to the conference, in order to be able to speak to local people in the occupied territory, I was contacted by the South African government telling me that this is in fact a very politically tense situation, and if I went, I would not have the support of our government.
Oh, wow.
So on that note, I was then exposed to the Sahrawi people and the Sahrawi ambassador based here in South Africa, who asked me if I would consider on my own accord to go to the camps and to go and stay amongst the Sahrawi people to actually understand for myself. And after a lot of time thinking about this and trying to decide if this is something I was going to do, I realized that I was compelled to do this. It was something I couldn't sleep at night. It was something I had to do. And being there, I come back not being able to share with you what I've read or what I've been told. I have lived amongst those people. I know firsthand what the situation is.
So what kind of work are you actually doing here? I mean, I know that you do a lot to raise awareness and talk about them, but what is your vision? I mean, what are you hoping to achieve?
So I'm working closely with the Sahrawi young people across the world, some of them who are living outside of the occupied territories and some who are living in the occupied territories, in order to fight and push political leadership in different countries to firstly recognize the Western Sahara as a country, which as South Africa we do recognize the Western Sahara. The African Union recognizes the Western Sahara as well, and in fact Morocco is the only African country not part of the African Union, specifically because of this illegal occupation. And the work that we're currently doing is to sort of push for a referendum to be held within the Western Sahara to allow for self-determination of the Western Sahara, and for the Polisario Front, who is the political front of the Sahrawi people, for them to be able to take control of the Western Sahara as their country. So I've been traveling around the world when invited to speak on behalf of the Sahrawi people, and in order to engage political platforms and groupings and gatherings in order to ensure that this is given the kind of attention it needs. Unfortunately, on the UN Security Council, this is something where Morocco has many allies, and it's an issue that keeps on getting deferred year after year. And the UN envoy in the Western Sahara has been agitated by the Moroccan the Moroccan situation. So we need to ensure that we're constantly keeping this top of mind, and that we're pushing the right kind of platforms in order for this to be given the kind of attention it deserves.
Wow, listen, the work that you're doing is absolutely amazing. You keep it up, and we can only imagine perhaps this is our next UN representative there. Who knows, for South Africa and Africa the way you're going. Catherine, congratulations. I mean, I think you've just explained to us exactly why you deserve this award, and keep doing such wonderful work for the youth here in South Africa and on the continent as well.
Thank you so much.
All right, this is the winner of the Ubuntu Award, and this was in the category that was basically honoring those that work in youth diplomacy, Catherine Constantinides. All right, the time now is 5 minutes before 7, and we almost had a blackout on air. What's going on here? Well, there you go, Ubuntu Awards. And this is the way I throw to Phil. Phil, what's happening on the weather side? I hope this doesn't mean that we're going to have black weather coming our way.